I arrived at St. Edda's with a suitcase of uniforms, a head full of quiet, brick walls, clipped hedges, silver bells for breakfast. I made 2 friends fast, Paulie with the wolf smile, and Mouse with the soft laugh that made the dorm lights feel warmer. We were 3, tight as lace, whispering under quilts, tracing futures on the ceiling with flashlights. First loves bloomed in hiding, notes tucked in Latin books, fingers grazing in chapel like accidents that weren't accidents. I thought the forest around campus was just scenery, green, obedient, and distant. But the forest watched. It started with a prank, or so we said. Someone moved our shoes to the bell tower. A heart chalked on the blackboard, drawn wrong with too many chambers. Mouse found a feather trapped in her locket. Not white, oil slick, like a rainbow bruised. Paulie said it was the school testing us, that the place made saints by breaking girls and gluing the right pieces. I laughed, because she was fearless and I was a shadow that wanted to learn to howl. Then the forest answered our notes. We left a letter in the roots of an old oak, just a dare. It came back folded into a perfect swan with our handwriting duplicated, but wrong, letters leaning where they never leaned. It knew our pet names. It knew what we only breathed in the dark. Nights turned tincture bitter. Footsteps above our ceiling where there was only roof. Paulie stopped sleeping. Mouse started humming a hymn none of us had learned, on a note that bent like metal. I followed the humming to the bell tower. The door was ajar, a draft smelling like wet leaves and old ribbon. Mouse stood at the window. Paulie stood behind her, hands shaking, saying, "Don't." The hymn came from the mouth of the forest. Not wind, words. It used my voice. It said my name. It promised a place to be true without witnesses. I stepped closer. The floor groaned, and the whole school seemed to listen. Then I saw it, not a face in the trees. Worse. The trees arranged themselves into our silhouettes. 3 girls merged into one long shadow, swaying. It wore our letters like leaves. It held out a hand that was a branch. Paulie whispered, "Don't." But the forest had already learned my whisper. It said, "I won't tell. Jump." Mouse smiled like she'd remembered the end of a prayer. The bell rang. Only 2 echoes came back. Morning assembly read 1 absence. The headmistress asked for silence. Everyone bowed. I didn't. I couldn't find my hands. They were still on the branch, and from the edge of the woods, my voice kept humming, close and getting closer, inside every girl who dares to say her first yes where no one can see.